Welcome back to the courtyard. Again, an update video that I am behind on because I'm realizing, especially when my parents were here, I took a lot of footage and longer clips and things like that because we were going to some really significant places. This video is about Ein Gedi, where David was fleeing from Saul after defeating Philistines, I believe, and 1 Samuel 23. I'll mention that here in a minute as well. But it was a place of refuge for David, a desert oasis. It's also mentioned in Scripture as the boundary for the tribe of Judah, and so lots of different references for En Gedi here. But it was interesting to go. I mean, we drove through the Judean desert for like an hour. To get, we leave Jerusalem, go down in elevation. We were below sea level, and we're driving for like an hour and a half outside of the city, and there's just nothing around. It's just desert and mountains and plateaus and all of these things, and then you pull into this national park, and it's lush, it's green, it's full, and that's the spring that is there. There are 4 rivers that come together and feed the spring that exists there. But it's just a refreshing place. Would have been a good place for David as he's fleeing Saul, a place of refuge. So here's some footage of that. It starts with our travels with some really cool date palms. I took a lot of pictures of the date palms because they're just all over the road as you're traveling. And I just thought they were pretty. So here you go. As we were driving to the Dead Sea, we saw this date palm farm amongst all of these mountains. And it was just a unique form of beauty that we don't necessarily have in central Pennsylvania. But that date palm farm probably would have been a cornfield in Pennsylvania. This is our first glimpse of the Dead Sea, and as you can see, it is dead. There's no life that exists in the Dead Sea, and it's just surrounded by these beautiful plateau mountains. Our first stop on this journey was at En Gedi, which is now a national park, but there are some significant events that took place in Scripture. It's when David hides in the strongholds at En Gedi when he's fleeing King Saul. 1 Samuel 23 through 24, and it's when David cuts the corner of his robe as Saul is relieving himself, and it's just an interesting place to see because you can see, I think the language in 1 Samuel is something about like craggy rocks. Accessible only to wild goats, and we passed a lot of ibex while we were there, they're kind of like deer, but it's just an interesting place to see and to know that this is where King David was at one point. Well, he wasn't king yet, and it was described in Scripture as an oasis, and you'll see here in just a minute we are coming upon and a desert oasis. So all of the footage leading up to this, there was just nothing, and then you come down to this place, and there's this waterfall, and this water, very refreshing. We got to spend some time in it as a family, but this is, I'm sure, very similar to what David would have experienced, just this oasis as he's fleeing from Saul. And looking for a way to be faithful to God, not kill the Lord's anointed, but also to show him, as he does, that he had the opportunity and he just cut the corner of his robe instead, and that would have taken place here in the craggy rocks of En Gedi, which is a very fitting description for what it looks like. But this is a beautiful little waterfall, beautiful little oasis in the desert. It was very hot the day we were there, over 100 degrees for sure. And just to be able to put our toes in this water was nice. But then Eleanor, my fearless baby girl, wanted to get under the waterfall, and I mean, her and Zay both love the water. Zay was a little more timid with the waterfall, but it was just fun to play with them for a little while, and to see this significant site, which again has a beauty of its own. These rock formations are beautiful, and to see these trees growing in the midst of a desert because of the spring that is flowing is just amazing. My parents were with us, my mom and Brianna, walking out of the park there as we are making our way then to Masada, which will be in the next video. But this was just a neat place to go, and to know that it has significance, even more so, makes it a more important experience for us as well. So this is Ein Gedi. You can read about that in 1 Samuel 23, 24, and last picture of the ibex. So that's Ein Gedi. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching along. Thanks for continuing to pray. And I'm going to try to make 3 videos because we went to 3 places on this one day, and I have a lot of footage, and it would have been too long of a video to put into one. So next up you're going to see about Masada, which is also an interesting place, but Ein Gedi, great place to I don't know, get a reprieve from the heat, and we really enjoyed that with my parents. And so thanks for coming along and watching. Shabbat Shalom.